Hello and welcome to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm Harry and on this edition of the Friday Drive we have a very special car for you, and it's this, our 2008 Rolls-Royce Phantom fixed head coupe. At over $1.26 million when new, at the tail end of the global financial crisis, only a handful of these particular models of fixed head coupe were ever delivered new into Australia. So let's go through a few of the features of this Rolls-Royce Phantom fixed head coupe. Now, first off is the exterior colour. This is called anthracite grey, and it's a really interesting grey. It's got a little bit of a pink hue to it. And then stepping inside, we've got smoke grey leather and the rosewood timber, and the optional, very expensive Starlight headliner, which is a massive bonus in one of these. And coming around to the front here, if we open up the bonnet, what is revealed is a 6 3/4 litre super smooth V12, outputting 338 kilowatts of power. Now this is the kind of engine, it's not loud, it's not something you ever notice. It's a type of engine that matches the style and elegance that this particular car exudes. But enough of all the chit chat, let's get on the road and see what's what. I've driven a lot of Phantoms, but there is something particularly special about the fixed head coupe. The giant suicide doors and the presence it has is unmatched by any other car. It's safe to say that this car turns a lot of heads, and that's not just because of the size of it, the rarity, or the enormous price tag of it when it was brand new. But the reason I think it turns so many heads is because you get a real sense of the quality. It's just truly exceptional how much attention to detail goes into every single Phantom. But to be honest, this wasn't always the case. I mean, back in the 70s and all of that, hand-built basically meant unreliable. And there was actually a funny story, which I'll tell you, that a person who worked at Kello Faulkner's, which was a Rolls-Royce agent in Melbourne back in the day. And he was telling me that they had a delivery of a new Silver Shadow to a lady wherever she lived. And she took delivery of it and came back a couple of days later and said, "This car has the most dreadful rattle, what's going on? Can you try and fix it, because it's driving me insane?" So they're like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." Take the car in, and they have it for about 3 or 4 weeks and they cannot work out where the sound is. So what they end up doing is pulling out the interior, and what they end up finding was in the door card was a wrench which had the label on it, "Found me." That's sort of what went on back in the days when Rolls-Royce was pretty much run by communists. Well, not run, but the line workers were, and so they had this disdain. But you don't get that sense anymore. You just know the people who built this car absolutely loved everything about it, and it shows. But thankfully, we couldn't be any further away from the old days of Rolls-Royce. This is simply beautiful and a truly exceptional car to drive. It's so serene in here. It's like you're in another world. And though most people would be very intimidated to, drive this thing, let alone get in it, it's actually a very easy car to drive. The steering's light, the visibility's excellent, except for the back window. It's like looking through a letterbox, but anyway, but the brakes are good, and when you put your foot down, it really gets up and boogies. It's a surprising car, but I mean, it's no sports car, don't get me wrong, but that's the exact reason you buy this car. And the other thing you notice about this car when you're inside is how sort of different the whole setup is to more modern cars. I mean, there's a zillion buttons and screens everywhere, even back in 2008, but this is a little bit different. Because yes, it's got all the tech, it's got reverse camera, sat nav, and the variant, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the Starlight headliner. Actually, I'll see if I can turn it right up. No, that is right up. Maybe you can see it, I don't know. But the point is that everything to operate all these controls are all very neatly hidden away. And I really like that, because the thing about a luxury car is it's not the buttons, it's none of that sort of stuff. It's the craftsmanship, the attention to detail. You sit here and you can enjoy the wood, the leather, and the serenity. That's what luxury is. So if you're in the market for a Rolls-Royce Phantom fixed head coupe, you'll have to be quick, because this is the only example for sale in Australia and one of only 25 originally allocated to Australia. We'll see you next week.